What's up, folks? Hey. And whoa. Can you hear us?
I hope you can. I don't know.
Let's check the source.
Let's go ahead and check the source. Source is not.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
All right. Rex.
You got sound? You got sound? We can be heard.
Car guys. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's do this. Car guys, car gals, welcome
Yes.
to the Car Guy Coffee Podcast. You ready to brew?
Oh, dude.
Can you hear me now? What about now?
Let's go. So, hey,
Nice and
what's
clear.
going on, car guys, car gals? You ready for this?
Let's do this.
And this is how it always starts, right here.
Get it.
He had forced it over and was trying to fly.
What's up,
What's
everybody? How you doing?
I hope that you guys are excited to
Lou's back in town.
grab a cup of coffee. Let's have a conversation.
Let's do
All right.
that.
Once again, this is Lou Ramirez, the car guy,
This is filling our subprime hero.
and we are ready to brew solutions.
That's what we do every day.
Let's get ready to have an incredible conversation real quick, and maybe just stir up a couple things for you to get ready to kick into your week and really make some big things happen as we finish out July 2020.
Wow. It's like really coming to an end. That's already so now we've already finished
July
1 month of the second half of the year. Time is going by quick, folks. Take advantage of every moment. Do not waste it. Key. So go for it, man.
Keep growing, and if you're gonna keep growing, Fred,
Oh man, you know what you got to do.
you know what we
first.
got to do. First things first, everybody. Let's make sure that we apply 3 F's. Get ready to kick off this night right. Finish off today, and let's go ahead and fly into tomorrow. And let's apply the formula that gets you brewing solutions and, just growing, being better, and achieving the things that you dream to achieve. So get ready with us. 3 F's on 3. 1, 2, 3. Forgive, focus, fly.
You know that's what's up.
Here we go. Car guys, car gals, keep growing. I'm ready to brew some
Thursday.
solutions. And we got a fun new series that's coming at you right now. But before we get too deep into talking about that, we want to make sure that you understand that this brew has been brought by
Think Ag Group. Yes.
And you can get information where?
www.thinkaggroup.com. Very easy to remember, thinkaggroup.com. It's very easy because that's what they do. They solve problems and they make it very easy for you. So make sure you check them out. They are very, 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 very good people.
Thoughtful.
Very thoughtful.
Which is what you want out of people that think.
Ag Group. Yes, man. They're a lot of fun. Man, they do some amazing stuff. They've come out with their own little series in a sense where it's more of a gathering of people and it's the think tank. And man, there's been
So
some
great.
pretty cool stuff going on in that. You all need to check that out. Also, if you guys haven't heard about that, go to LinkedIn. They put a lot of
Check that
messaging
out.
on there. Check out Think Ad Group on there, and you'll find a lot of information about what's going on. All the people that have been coming on and checking it out, hanging out, having great conversations, sharing ideas, lifting each other up. It's become a community of its own. So come on, join us, man. If
Cheers
you
to
guys are
that.
looking to grow.
It's an honor for us to be able to be
Man.
a
Tell me about it.
a welcomed brew of thoughts and opinions and ideas and successes that we get to bring into the think tank as they actually really just pour so much out of what's incredible about them that we get to take with us and apply to our lives, and just enjoy the camaraderie. There's some great people inside of that group of thinkers that are really always trying to find a way to get better at helping somebody else get better. I'll let you hold on. Oh,
Think about that.
yeah, sip on that a little bit. Helping, really, really having a heart to think about ways to help other people be better, which is so many times countercultural because we are so big about inflating ourselves that we forget that a balloon cluster looks way better than just that one solo balloon, right? You know what I mean? It's
Even
very
a row
important.
of really nicely lined up balloons looks better than just one
That
single
balloon,
one.
right? So it's important that we find a way to help inflate everybody to see how high we can rise together. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
If you want to weather the storm, well, guess what we're gonna do? We're doing balloons today. If it's gonna rain, guess what we're gonna have to do? A lot more balloons, because they're still going up, and I'm going to show you a way to keep them up in the air even in the rain. And that was the fun ingenuity that we would have showing up in crazy places in America, and we found a way. And a lot of times it would be get more helium. We're getting those balloons up. You know what I mean?
There
And
was
it would
something
work.
about that. It would just get you pumped up. You did something as a team, for one. You went and made your lot look good, which gave you your confidence too. Because when you do something for your lot, like pick it up. When you see something that's not where it's supposed to be, put it where it's supposed to be put. You know what I mean? Don't just sit there and walk by it and just know that it's not supposed to be there. Like trash, for example. Pick it up, throw it in the trash. Take pride in your work environment. Because when you take pride in where you work, things tend to get better. You tend to love where you work. So pride in that, making sure that your workplace is right. It's very key to do so. And it starts with yourself, man. I mean, just do it. If you do that, everyone will start following. Be a leader,
Well,
They're really easy to do, little steps like that.
Leader, man, it's kind of where I believe I'm kind of feeling a little bit tonight too. Is on the subject of leadership.
Okay.
You've been speaking on different things on your heart, and I think that these all connect pretty much the same way, because in any sales transaction, it's like a dance. It's like a dance.
Of course it is.
You're leading the dance to the rhythm, right?
See?
And so whether you are the person taking the up, a service writer, a sales manager, a service manager, you're actually trying to lead the dance, right? You're trying to lead them in the direction that they're supposed to be going, inside of a rhythm, inside of a cadence, inside of a process. And
No doubt.
with that, you always have to be working on the leader in you, whether you have nobody listening to you or not. If you are selling somebody something, you need to lead them in how to buy it and why it works for them. And why it's even something that they need to buy. Because if you're selling something to somebody that they don't really need to buy, well, then you're just taking their money. And that's,
That's a different type of sales.
that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, that's a different type. That's not what we're talking about here.
But if you want to honor a person and be the proper salesperson that you are, you want to make sure that you're taking their dollars for a good value. Okay. And there's a lot of interpretation in between there, but you know what value you bring to it. So I believe that a workman is worthy of his wages. So you should get paid for doing what it is that you do. But you're getting paid ultimately to help them achieve something that they need. And that is beyond your sales goal. So finding out primarily what they want to achieve is a key part of leadership. You know what I mean? What are you here to achieve? Why are you here? You know, what is it that you're trying to be here for? You know what I mean? What are you trying to achieve? Why do you want on this
The more
this ride?
the more, if you can, here's the thing, guys. You get organized. When you start, if you know your clientele, if you know what your average client's going to be like when they come in your store, and don't get me wrong, everyone's a snowflake, but still, there is a basic. But there is a basic.
Drop the definition of snowflake.
Everything's different, but but they're not. There's similarity to a lot of stuff. There's ways that you can get to where you need to get to, but there's just different motivations in people why they're buying the vehicle. So if you know what your average motivation is at the store and you get really good at that, then you're going to be a pretty average person. Now, if you can figure out how to get to all these different levels and these different types of stuff and just become really good at that, but it's very basic. They're all pretty much the same. They all want to buy a nice vehicle. They all want to feel like that they didn't get ripped off. They all want to feel like that they're buying from a place that people care, somebody who's, knowledgeable. That's what the most average people are going to be doing. And I'm not saying that because that's, condescending. I think that's just what we all want. I mean, I want that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just they just want to be treated right. Like, you don't want to go somewhere and feel like, man, I bought because, this dude was, he swindled me. No, that's not what we do. We teach you how to, or what we do is we try to teach people, hey, you're telling me what you want. And that's why he was talking about questions. Hey, give me these answers. And with these answers that you give me, I could turn around and explain back to you why this vehicle is the perfect thing based off the budget that you're talking about, based off the needs that you have for a vehicle, based off of, how long you plan on keeping it and your credit level, right? And of course, all these things come together. We show you and present you with the best numbers. And if those work, great. If not, we figure out a way to make it work in either a different vehicle, maybe more money down, a cosigner, whatever it is. But we give you a reason and a way to be able to help you get to where you need to be. So it always ends up working out. And it's just about asking the right questions. And sometimes it works. 2 questions is all you need sometimes. But at the same time, you still need to ask, be investigative, make sure that you ask direct questions, get trained on it. There's certain questions that work. Like he was talking about, when he was going through those questions, that's basically, I promise you, the way he goes through every deal with the customer, and I had a certain way that I would break it down too. Like, okay, why are you here? Okay. What's your budget? Okay, cool. All right. Now, what's the one that Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Follow me and we go show you this one, folks. I know what you want. Okay, that was old Fred. Now the new Fred is completely different, though. It's all about a lot of things. Oh, we got Michael. He just jumped on.
Michael is in the building.
He is in the casa.
I want to welcome an incredible
is true, very
solutionary to the cafe.
Yeah.
This is someone who has been putting out some great information, but actually having some great results with great people. He's been meeting people. He's been achieving success personally, but he's been pouring it out into other people. And that's definitely why we want him inside of the cafe with us, telling you incredible, great news, right? That
absolutely.
There's great things to celebrate, and you can jump into the sound of this choir of people that are saying that, hey, positive is definitely the way forward. Keeping your heart in the proper posture of positivity is the way to brew solutions. So, Michael, jump up in here.
There he is. Let me get this spread a little bit better. I'm gonna pull this.
What's up?
I'll pull this off real quick.
How you guys doing?
Doing awesome. Good evening.
Good evening. Sorry I'm a little late.
No, you're not late at all, man. We're the ones usually late. You know how we do. We're up all night long.
Very cool.
Well, I appreciate that you came on the show, man. It was good, talking the other day when I was doing my little lot walk and you came on, and then I invited you and you were like, I'm in. So I'm glad you're here. Yeah. So what's going on, man? How's everything been going your weekend? I saw that you were doing some jumping in the pool and stuff like that. It looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had a little bit of family over tonight, so it was a lot of fun today. My daughter, who was doing like a cannonball competition with me right now, so we were having a little bit of fun in the backyard. But
that is the best, man.
Heck yeah.
Memories, man. It looked like nice pool, by the way, and I'm sure that's a nice way to cool down out in the Arizona sun.
Yeah, it's a little warm out here today. Yeah,
kind of be a must, right?
Right. Yeah, I think today it got up to about a 104, 105 somewhere in there, which is actually a little bit lower than what it's been. So
Yeah, that's called Tucson, Arizona, baby.
That's
Get it? I've been
Yeah,
there.
you know a little bit about that, don't you?
A little bit, yeah, no doubt. So and
Oh,
it's
man.
definitely probably getting hotter and hotter every year too. At least it feels like it does.
Yeah,
wow.
no doubt.
Yeah. I used to stand out in the flight line and work on jets in that heat, man. It was like the exhaust of the aircraft was actually cooler than the air. So you would sit there and just let that air just blow on you from the
That's
exhaust. You're
nuts.
like, oh, bro. That
Yeah,
feels
people
so
always
good.
talk about it. I travel back and forth between Michigan and Arizona a lot. And it's funny, I go to Michigan and they're like, well, at least it's a dry heat. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's still 110, 115 degrees. It's hot. You know, there's no way around that. So,
Oh, man.
Oh man! So why don't you introduce yourself to
Yeah.
everybody, so that everyone can know what's going on, what you do, and where you're from.
sure. So I'm Michael Offmuth with Elite FI Partners. We do F&I training development and products for dealerships. So anything from independent to franchise to power
Nice.
sports to RV, any product you can imagine. So anything from service contracts to ancillaries, reinsurance, retros, all the different things that you would see on the F&I and in regard to development. We do all of the above.
Wow.
So that's kind of our space. We ultimately, about a year back, broke off and formed our own agency. So we were a part of a larger agency until that point in time. And then we basically branded and became our own agency back about June, July of last year. And so ultimately, I relate to you guys. You know, I look at myself as the guy kind of out on the limb and the branch and kind of going out there and trying to go after it. So, but that's our story. We basically are an F&I agency working with dealerships.
Man, yeah,
That's
absolutely.
awesome.
And
Man,
you're
they
doing
need
a
it.
great job, man. I've noticed that you're doing more and more on social media. I love it. Keep going and keep growing, bro.
You are a subprime hero. Okay. You are,
Yeah,
are
no
finding
doubt.
a way to inject a method of
Absolutely.
finding solutions into dealerships by penetrating the heart of actual people that you sit across the desk from. And
Yeah.
that is somebody that, you know, people are excited to cheer on and to actually leave there saying, hey, I'm going to do what they say. You know, it's one thing to just deposit something and then, you know, man, they're just not going to do it. They're not going to do it the right way. They're not going to put their heart into it. You leave there not encouraged that you just poured in is going to stick, right?
Right.
But you are able to jump in there and do that, and you're seeing some great results. What are some of the great results that you're seeing out there with people right now? I mean, as far as everything that's getting ready to rise up on this next half of the year.
You know, it's interesting because you go into different dealerships. So some stores, you know, are right now they're crushing it, they're killing it, you know, and you see guys that are having a lot of success, and you know, a lot of it is kind of like what you guys are doing. They're really going after it. They're going like social media and they're doing a lot of different things to really kind of grow and bloom and get out there. Some guys are kind of struggling, you know, and they're having a hard time right now. And it's, you know, it's a weird time, you know, right now, last 3-4 months, you know, it's changed for everybody, myself included. And a lot of us have jumped online. A lot of us have been out there kind of looking at what everyone else is doing and trying to find a niche or like a groove. And, you know, honestly, I love you guys because I relate to you. I love the positive energy. I love the positive message all the time. And no, it's true. I really do. I love that about you guys. You're always finding the positive. You're always finding something to go out there and branch into. And it's contagious, you know? And so when you go into some of these stores, you see it, you know, you see some of these guys that are out there and they're doing the same thing you're doing. They're getting online and they're talking and they're showing a car and they're talking about their day and they're doing these things. And I love it. I love that energy because you see how that's actually out there branching and growing into different things. And then the ultimate, you know, thing is we're all out there trying to, you know, grow and ultimately make money and, you know, sell more cars or, you know, the end result. And at the end, obviously I do better as my dealers do better. I mean, it's all correlated together, but you know, the energy is where I feed off of that stuff right now. And, you know, when this all started to hit, I kind of fell into that pattern where it's like, hey, you know, how do I change? You know, what do I do with my agency right now? Because we were in this you know, energy, like right before, you know, COVID hit and we were starting to grow and we were starting to sign new accounts and bloom. And then all of a sudden it's like, ooh, yeah, you can't travel. Hey, you shouldn't be on an airplane right now. You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that.
Bro.
And so I'm like, oh, this is a bad time for me. This is not good.
It's
You know?
like,
You know,
right.
what do I do to change? You know, what's our approach and how do we go after it? So, you know, I started looking at online, you know, how do I change my website? How do I put more information out there? How do I get and do what you guys are doing? How do I do videos and get out there and try to get my face in front of more dealerships, especially when I'm not able to travel as much? And
Man, absolutely.
And that's kind of the gist of it right now.
Man, and you're doing a good job. And trust and believe, consistency is going to go huge for you. Just keep doing it. And the thing is that when you're in front of people and everybody knows what you do all the time, eventually, even the ones that are not needing the service or think they don't need the service now, they're going to be like, man, remember Michael, man, he was always out there. He's doing his positive stuff. He's doing the right things all the time. I know he's the kind of guy that I would love to have in front of me that I could sit there and feel very comfortable doing some stuff with. And you know what? It's time for me to do this. Right. And they're going to come to you. So whether it's today, the work that you do today, you won't sow the seeds of that until later, right? We talk about that a lot.
Yeah, you may not see the growth of them. Right.
And this was an opportunity that's why, we talked about positivity, but this whole time we had so much extra time. And like you said, yeah, it sucked, man. And don't get me wrong. It wasn't all like peaches and apples and everything is wonderful. And, it was, but yet my mentality was, yes, it is that way. So I'm going to go ahead and grow as much as I can, take advantage of all the extra minutes that I have during the day to do stuff, go ahead and try to, get better at stuff, not worry about this. Find new friends, grow my network. Because as Glenn Lundy talks about, your network is your net worth. He's been talking about that a lot lately. And I've always talked about that, but it's so true. And the cool thing is our network it's a beautiful network and you're part of that network. And it's a really nice one. We all encourage each other to grow right now. Right. And for me, and that's what this whole show for us was about, was to make a connection with people and start to form a new type of car business alignment where everybody out there who's in this business is just like, it needs to be done right. Customers need to be treated right, and they need to be given options. They need to be, but yet the salespeople who are doing this need to be making sure that they are doing it right. And we help them become better at their jobs, help them stay encouraged, help them see that with the right type of mentality, you can do so much with this business, make so much money. It doesn't really matter. It's crazy. It's not really about the money, and truthfully, but yet it is. You know what I mean?
It's the result. I mean, and the other thing I want to touch on is get out of your comfort zone. I think you, Fred, you talk about this a lot, but it's true. I've always been the guy like, hey, I'm not the guy getting in front of the camera. I'm not going to do that stuff. And you start going through some changes, and obviously COVID being the trigger, but you start to figure out what you have to do. And so live in that uncomfortable, and you talk about how you don't want to be, you almost like search for that thing every day that makes you uncomfortable. And I believe in that. I think that's truth. I go out there every day now, and it's kind of like I look for what it is that makes me uncomfortable. And it can be as simple as I walk into a huge dealership, I'm walking in front of a bunch of executives, and everybody gets butterflies in a meeting or something of that nature. But hey, look, I'm going to put myself in that situation. It might be 20 seconds of uncomfortable, but guess what? I'm going to get there, and I don't care what the result is. I'm going to put myself
Absolutely,
in.
Bro.
And that's the only way you're going to ever make results, or you're ever going to grow, and you're ever going to get something out of it. And that's why I love you guys, man. You guys are all about the growth. You're all about, living the uncomfortable.
So let's just make sure that we hit the heart one time. And that we understand at the core what it is that's at all of that growth. So welcome to the Car Guy Cafe, where we forgive, focus, fly. So jump out here with us, looking nice in that Car Guy Coffee podcast. That's right. Blue, true blue. Look at that.
I appreciate the support, man.
Thank you so much for supporting.
That is an amazing thing. I appreciate that. I know that when you purchased that, it was in the middle of COVID. It took a little time to get in, and we do apologize for the delay.
Sorry.
But we couldn't do it. We didn't know. So I mean, like this shirt I'm wearing right now. We ordered this before your shirt. I didn't get this till like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we were the last.
Yeah, we were like the last shirts to finally get delivered with these to us. So, but you know what? Good things are worth waiting for. I appreciate you being patient about that. And man, that shirt looks
looking good.
You look nice. I feel like you can close any deal and make anything happen with that shirt on right now.
But you know why, folks? Because I'm brewing solutions.
That's right.
At the Car Guy Coffee Podcast.
My man. No, for real, man.
But let's go ahead. Cool. Let's go ahead and fly together real quick, because there is something that I definitely want your opinion on, and I want to kind of just kick it and wrap her a little bit with you about it. But let's go ahead and forgive, focus, fly before we get rocking. So go ahead and join with me now on 3. 1, 2, 3. Forgive, focus, fly.
Woo!
All right. So there is a challenge that we're all facing, right?
Yep.
And inside of everything that we were just speaking on growth, right? The way to grow and the way to get to higher heights for an eagle or for one that is ascending heights flying is to stretch out your wings, right? The fowl that keeps its wings close to it, they don't really fly much. Okay, they're easy to harvest. They're easy to keep a hold of. They're easy to kind of control, right?
Mhm.
But an eagle, it's way harder to control that, right? It's way harder to subdue something that is able to ascend and take the heights of success like an eagle. But becoming that big of an eagle that stretches and grows and becomes what it is that they are, you go through the test of time, right? Just like a great buck that somebody's out hunting, right? You're looking for a buck that is seasoned, that has all kinds of points all over it, right? It's a big old rack. You're looking for that seasoned one. And that's the same thing that we're looking for inside of our pursuit to get together with solutionaries everywhere. And people like Michael are going to dealerships to help them find ways to grow where they are. So when you're a person that's brewing solutions, it's key that your growth level is constantly finding a way to help elevate and raise other people up around you everywhere that you go. That is the sign that you are a solutionary. That is the sign that you're somebody that's truly brewing solutions. But there's also a stigma that is dying, this cancerous stigma that I believe has to die in the way that people interpret what a car salesman is. That we are constantly running up the stream of trying to conquer, right? And trying to overcome and trying to kill. And as much as these tools and media works with us and in our favor, and we can work with as the masters of the universes that we are, right? The system is still trying to make a shift against the car salesman and painting the absolute worst picture of us also. I saw this commercial, and I don't watch much TV to see many commercials anymore, okay? But we were in the hotel, and I saw one play, and I stopped. I'm sitting there ironing the shirt, and I was stuck. It was a Vroom commercial. Have you seen a Vroom commercial that showed these people having this crazy nightmare of them of what it's like to buy a car?
Yeah.
Did you?
I don't know if I've seen that, but I can imagine that.
Well, let's go ahead and watch that, car guys and car gals, real quick. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up on the screen. And
you do a quick screen share of that?
Yep.
You son of a gun. Look at you. He's getting better at this stuff.
I keep growing.
There you go.
Hello.
Look at this. Bing bong.
All right.
He's still trying to figure it out, though. He's like, hold on.
What?
Put it back on.
That guy.
And then you see, we almost had it.
We were almost flawless.
So you go now. You just pull that down.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Boom.
You know what's up. All right, here we go.
So kill that. Let me turn this on to shut yours off.
Okay, 1 second. Uno momento.
What you think of that, man? Did you see? Did you hear it?
Well, hold on.
I didn't hear anything myself. I could see it.
Oh my goodness, man!
You didn't hear any of it until the end there.
Man.
I hear you.
Okay, so what you were seeing, right, was a bunch of clowns saying, "Buy now, buy today. You have to be here. And just different sales pitches, different horrible things, right? And so she flips from that nightmare nightmare of a circus, right, that they paint it to be. And then they say, you never have to be in a dealership again. And she's like, and to think, I could have, I'm so glad we bought this online or something like that. Right. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like
that's like seeing like the
never
dealer.
want-
It's like seeing a temp tag on the back of a car that you didn't sell.
It's way worse.
They used to
Way
kill me,
worse.
man. I used to,
But I was
when I
like-
first, especially the first few years in the business, I'd be driving down the street and I all of a sudden I'd see a temp tag and I'm like, oh man, somebody got something and I didn't get it. I missed that one, but
seeing the commercial, I was still stuck because my Tiffany was right there and she's sitting there doing her makeup and sitting there watching it, and Gabe is sitting there like, and I'm like, I'm mad, and I'm like, I am mad for a second, and then I go, that is also a masterful commercial.
Right.
That was an absolute fantastic commercial.
Yeah, it was a good jab at
for
us,
what
yeah.
it is that they wanted to do.
It's
But
not,
hey,
And I appreciate the production, but it was like, oh man, good shot.
I was gonna say it's not just Vroom though. It's Vroom, it's CarMax, it's Carvana, it's all those guys that are kind of selling the same thing, right? So they're selling the comfort level of, hey, you can bring a car back. You have the comfort of not worrying about your transaction. And they're trying to brand every dealership outside of that window as like the bad guy. And it's ultimately like, we're the good guy. You can buy it online. If something happens, you can bring it back, or you have the peace of mind of that comfort.
and that's exactly right, Michael. And they're I think that they provide a cool service. Listen, I'm not trying to say that, and I get it. They did a little jab at us, whap, right? They threw a little hook, hit me in the body one time. They came up with an uppercut, whatever.
So
right?
what does that do to challenge us?
But that doesn't. But it
don't do
does.
that.
But here's the thing.
Don't be the horror story.
People need a change. Dealerships, a lot of them that are the ones that are successful, like you mentioned earlier, Michael, was that the ones that are being more proactive on social media, they're allowing purchases in a slightly different way than they used to. They're being more conformed to helping and being more transparent to their customers. That's what the whole social media thing's doing for them. They're making the whole process easy for them. They're doing it the right way. So they're starting to do more and more and more. Now, the dealerships that refuse to go on there and use social media, they refuse to do the new way. They oh man, it's gonna go back to normal, bruh.
The thing is that I think a lot of dealerships are getting ready to look onto have that window open up inside of their world, and they're gonna go out looking for help. I know I need this.
Yeah.
I have to have that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when the tire machine was made for the service shop. Hey, none of us have this, but we all now have to have this. You know what I mean? This is a must-have inside of our store. Who has this information? They're going to be finding people like Michael and many others that are going to be able to jump in there, plug them in, get processes implemented, and start really changing the culture. A little bit, because there is a lot of that has to adjust.
Adapt and grind, right? So ultimately, dealerships have to look at this, and this is your competition now, right? So they're selling the comfort to a customer. They're selling to a customer that, hey, you don't have to worry about your transaction. But what they're not selling is it's not a personal transaction. It's 100% online. That's where social media, comes into play. That's where all these dealerships now that are getting out there on social media, they can put a face to the transaction. They can actually show you somebody and their actual person-to-person interaction that's going on there. One, and then two, bring value. What are you going to bring to the transaction for that customer? What are you going to bring to the table? Are you going to compete? Are you going to give them some kind of return exchange? Are you going to give them some kind of warranty going through the door? What is it that you advertise that gives that customer the same peace of mind when they purchase a vehicle? And then as you're doing that with the people that your salespeople, your managers, everybody going out there on social media, you should be hammering that home. That's all the stuff that basically will make it so, again, dealerships are going to come and go. And it's like you guys said, the guys that get in the game and grind it out and do everything they can, those are going to be the guys that survive. And you have to take what's happening right now is where it's going. That's the trend. People are going online. Dealerships, you guys are probably no different, but you can sell a car online. Independent franchise dealerships out there right now are able to sell a car online. So that they don't have a competitive edge, as far as Vroom or Carvana or CarMax in relation to what you guys can offer. It's all the same. And you have a personal touch to it.
The thing is if you can offer all the things that company can offer too, right? The return policy, whatever, you can have one, you can not have one. If it's whatever your policy is on that, but if you can offer online, easy access purchase deliver to your house, whatever you want, all that type of stuff. If you can do that for a customer, give them the ease and the convenience of a purchase, then it really works really good for you. Now that takes some of their market because they have that market. We never did. We never have. Most of the average car person doesn't like doing it that way. Right. But if we take that, and even if we just take 15% of their market from that as a dealership throughout the whole nation, right? We take 15% away from them by doing that, just a little bit more of that. It's amazing. But now if you do a lot more, it'll take them away. Matter of fact, they'll probably end up doing having to open a lot, because what separates us, and if we can offer that, but we give them the bingo bango at the end of it, we have a service that we can give you for a lifetime. You always can come to somebody that you know up the street at this dealership that can service you, take care of you, will be your point of contact for life, right? So, and you always have somebody, even if they become an orphaned owner, we can always get you set up with somebody that can take care of you from that point. So no matter what, you're going to be good. Now, you can't offer that with Carvana. You can't offer that with all those other places. You can't sit there and say, okay, 2 years down the road when they're having a complaint, can you give them extra for the trade? We can. They can't. All that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of reasons why I believe that we're okay, and I'm never going to really worry about them taking us. Like I encourage it. I think it's cool. I think people need to embrace technology. People need to embrace the future. Maybe some people don't want to, and they're doing fine without it. Yeah, you're doing fine without it now, but eventually, it all falls apart. Just like people who didn't want to use DealerTrack, people who didn't want to use, Carfax.
All that. So again, it's just an adjustment inside of the culture.
That's it, man.
It's just a change in the way that people interact and buy things in general.
I think spot on. I think you have the advantage. I mean, you have a person that somebody can relate to. You have, a brick and mortar place that they're going to go to. And ultimately, they're going to want to talk to you, Fred, or they're going to talk to you, Lou, and they're going to want to come back in and have that person that they dealt with the last time that remembers buying the vehicle, that actually knows the transaction, knows what the vehicle is, and the whole, environment. It makes people comfortable. And especially when you can put that on social media, I think that's all positive.
Absolutely. And there's no doubt about that. And I couldn't agree more. See, here's the thing. The craziest thing to all you salespeople who see this in the future, tonight, whenever you watch this, you have to understand that social media is amazing. It could be good for you. It could be bad for you. Consistency is a wonderful thing. I think I can attest to that. I think Michael can attest to that. I think a lot of people out there that I know personally can very much attest to that. Being consistent, putting out good content, doing it right. Don't get too political, right? We could get all into all the little details like that, but I'm not going to get too much into that. But
don't pour out negative. Keep the negative,
but
away.
Yeah, but the whole point behind it is that you have to make sure that that you're doing it. And like as a salesperson, for example, if you're a salesperson, why wouldn't you do video testimonials every single time? Why wouldn't you do a video follow-up every time? Why wouldn't you set up a page where your customers can all be there and just where it's like a resume to other clients in the future? Exactly. It's unbelievable how powerful that could be. Hey folks, I know you're getting ready to come in. Send them a quick text email after you talk to them that has your Facebook page, right? Click on this for a chance to be, when you come in, you might have a chance to win a gas card before you leave. Whatever. They go on there, they like, share, they do everything. You can find a way. There's some multitude of reasons why and how and all that kind of stuff, how you can get business from that. But just do that. Why not do it 100% of the time? But yet you see so many of them out there that they're scared almost. It's like they're scared to be successful. They're like, man, I don't know. I see other people doing it, but yet I don't want to do it because it's probably not going to work for me. Right. But it will. It will. Consistency is key there. I mean, but you have to do that. But so being on social media and just throwing everything at it, the kitchen sink, the whole nine, and you just go crazy with it, I think it could just be amazing how far you can go. I think salespeople underestimate the power of it right now, how huge it can be. I know that I exploit it, and I don't mean I put a lot of stuff out there, but I don't do that because I'm,
I mean, it's about building a brand, is it not? I mean, ultimately, a salesperson can set up like where somebody walks in and it's almost like, oh, I've seen you, I know you, I've seen all your videos, I follow you. I mean, what an advantage is that for a salesperson if a customer is walking in and the customer is already excited to be working with you? It's like you've taken down that notch, like you talk about, that perception that people have of a car salesperson or
Right.
a dealership. You know, that's where social media is just crucial and powerful. You know, like you can do all that with social media. And I think, you know, at the end of the day, it's going to be the value is going to come from somebody that cares, right? So if you have a salesperson that's involved and they care and they're listening, you know, we always used to train my family dealership. We always used to say, you have one mouth, two ears, right? So you listen twice as much, you talk half as much, right? So listen to that customer, let them tell you what's going on, and then basically answer their questions, but get engaged. Show them that you care. That will be everything. That'll be all that you need right there. And that you know, combined with the pedestal of social media and actually starting a little bit higher up, that's how you guys will compete in that world. That's how you guys will dominate in that world.
Man. And I'm looking forward to seeing this, man. You know, here's the cool thing. You know, obviously you've been in the think tank, and you know, the Think Ag Group, which I'd love to say once again, this brew is brought to you by the Think Ag Group, and we do appreciate them, man. They're a great group of people, man. They've been one of our biggest supporters, you know, much like you. You know, they've been there since we first started coming in. They had an opportunity to come on our show, and we got to interview both Derek and Justin, and that was a lot of fun too. And get to hear their backstories, where they came from, and both of them from two completely different worlds, yet they united and they doing their thing, and they're doing some pretty cool, amazing stuff right now. That whole group, you know, we're all in this little think tank, and that's kind of a cool way of thinking about it. And the ideas, and we get inspired by each other. And I've been, you know, you guys inspire me. You know, watching your videos inspires me, bro. I think you're doing a great job. You're having a lot of fun. I think even the one you did today, you know, I believe that, you know, throwing a little bit of personal is good stuff. And I think that the way you did it was fun, and it made me want to wish I was there partying with you, jumping in the pool with you, you know. Like I said, you know, it was really cool.
What's the line? Should I not do this? Should I do it? Not, but I think
but it shows your personality, and people need to see that you have fun. And I think that you showed that today in a very, very, very cool way. And I mean, it was like, yeah, man, that just looks so, like, I felt cooled down when you jumped in that pool. But yeah, it was cool though. I like the slow-mo on it too. It was cool. But yeah, no, you know, you're doing some cool stuff, man. I'm looking forward to seeing your company grow. I think that this group of people, all of us, we're going to be there cheering you on all the way. Yeah. So obviously, you know, there's a lot of people with a lot of great information, and a lot of people who have ideas that would share just much like you do for what you do. And you're part of a group that's going to love to help you, lift you up. So I'm glad you're part of it, man. It's cool to see you around. I'm glad that you got to come on tonight. So it's pretty neat.
What I love to jump in and be able to look at, it's seeing people put out great news,
absolutely,
good news, to put out a light. Yes. And you're doing that, and it's exciting to be a part of any conversation that anybody is in, where there's great news being brought to the table. And I appreciate that. We honor that. That is our kind of heartbeat, and we're excited to see where it is that you go, because right now our culture really needs it. The car business is on a paradigm shift, and I believe that voices and people that aren't just voices, but are also great at the art of doing it and the technical part of doing it inside of a dealership, that's able to go in there, be a hero, make something happen, inspire the hearts, penetrate the heart. You're going to see some great results. I want to hear about them. Have the people that are getting that great news share it with us. Tell us some great stuff. We want to hear about testimonials from everywhere it is that you go that sees great growth and overcomes big challenges. Sometimes growth is steady over time, but there's incredibly big challenges that are taken, right? It takes a very long time to cross a giant mountain, you know, and sometimes we have to take a look at the time that we're in, not just the time in space time, but in the moment that we're in, the right now, the opportunity that we have, and you're coming in at the right time. It's exciting. And we got so many others.
Just each day get better than you were yesterday. You know, I say that stuff all the time, man, but it's so true. And it's not just me saying it, it's the whole world. And anybody who is successful will tell you the same thing, is that all you have to do is just, it's not about what he's doing, what Lou's doing, what we're doing. It's about what you're doing. As long as you're doing what you're doing, Michael, and you just do it a little bit better, just 1% better every single day. Man, think about what another year from now, what your company's going to look like. You've gone through all this craziness that's going on in the world right now. We've all gone through it. Everybody has, but you've been a shining light. You've kept a smile on. You kept moving forward. All that's going to happen from this is that your muscles right now,
cheers to you,
they're so strong. You got stronger in the off season. You know what I'm saying? And now it's time to go in and just make them tackles and just get down with it, you know? So, and we're going to have a lot of fun. All these end zone dances that we're all going to do, it's going to be a lot of fun. So I feel excited, man. You know, I know that, you know, there's like a new spike in everything that's going on. I know that Arizona kind of got hit a little bit too. So I know that was kind of like, whoa, not to bring up negative. I don't mean to do that, but here's what I mean by that. Because there's always a positive, no matter how bad something gets, there's always a complete. So if it's really bad, something really good is going to come from something. Right. So it's yin and yang, man. You have to get that. But you have to, instead of focusing so much on, oh, this crap happened. Well, something really amazing is going to happen. So if you start focusing that way, man, it's amazing how easy and how great things become and how much you start to notice, even like jumping in the pool with your family, how great that can be. That's, you know, an amazing day, having fun, and then coming on to the cafe and doing a late brew with the guys.
Right. that yin and the yang. For those of you that didn't get the chance to watch it, go back, watch the commercial that played probably silent, right? And look at what came across. It was two opposite different worlds, right? Two completely different worlds. We are on that paradigm shift. And I didn't want to share that in a negative light towards what it is that we actually are, the men and women that go to work every day to help customers have what it is that they need, whether it's a dependable car that's fixed or it's a newer vehicle that's going to run. You are great professionals that the whole earth needs. And we want to make sure that you are challenged by the picture of the nightmare that the industry tries to paint that a car salesman or car sales lady is. And I challenge you all to laugh at that and say, very nice, but that's not me. They ain't talking about me. You know what I mean? They ain't, you know what I mean? Like anytime that a song would bust out and say all kinds of stuff about a female, when they call them hoochies or itches or any of that other stuff, you know what I mean? Like, he ain't talking about me. He ain't talking about me. You know what I mean? That's how we need to be postured of. They're not talking about me. That's not what it is. Because my child is watching that, right? My kid is watching that, saying this. That's not what you guys actually are, right? No, that's not what we are. They know better than that. You know what I mean? And so we're not gonna take it. You know, I challenge you all to make sure that you're not the nightmare that they paint you to be. Stand out and be a light.
I get it, you know, because like a lot of there's a stereotype when it comes to car salespeople, especially pre-owned salespeople, right? And so when you're dealing with that, there's a lot of people out there that think that, you know, they're always out there to get you. And don't get me wrong, everybody wants to make profit. So here, you salespeople out there listening right now, here's the difference between being a good salesperson or being the sleazeball that they're actually being part of the stereotype. Okay, so when you're trying to sell a car to somebody, if you want to make money on it, it's okay. There's no such thing as, I don't think that profit is a bad word at all. Man, max it out. You get a high gross deal, but if you do it right, you add value by selling yourself. Understand that when you go in there and you can literally, they can go up the street to Chevy. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm talking about 90% of people. Okay, there's that 10%.
Oh, so
I'm not going to say I'm 100% ever. I'm a dang good closer. I always feel like I'm the best ever, but there's always that 10%. So we're talking about the 90%. So when you're going into that, you got to just make sure that you build yourself, you talk to them, you treat them right, you get them that extra glass of, you know, coffee or a cup of coffee, car guy coffee, that is, and a cup of cold water when it's hot outside. You make them feel comfortable. You let them sit inside in the air conditioning while you're getting their car cooled down before they go out and test drive it. I mean, there's so many ways that you add value to yourself, to your dealership, you bring them around, show them the service department, you show them where they can come in, where the customer parking is every time they come in, VIP customer parking, you know, stuff like that. You always do the stuff that makes why they buy this car from you, even though they can go down the street and save maybe $500 to $1,000, which a lot of people that 10%, other 10%, that's a big, to them, that's all that matters. They're not just looking at numbers. That's it. The other 90% of people, the ones that are real human beings, not robots, those people, no, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I don't mean that. The 10%, I still love you. But but you know, the ones that come in that really need, you know, love that. There's something about that. Me personally, I will pay extra for that service. I can't help it. If it's so just outstanding, I'm like, man, yeah. You know, it's like my way of giving them a tip, if that makes sense. You know, it's your way of doing that, knowing that it's just, but it's not about ripping them off. There's no such thing as ripping anybody off. Bank guidelines give me this callback, right? So this is where I can sell the vehicle for. I don't sell it off a market. I sell it off of what the value that I possibly can sell this car for, right? So that being said, I'm not going to get too deep into that.
So to ask the question,
but you work hard for that.
From Michael, real quick.
Work really hard.
Questions could come in even if this airs later, and you guys get the chance to catch this during a lunch or during a break or during a good coffee break, right? So what do you think of that? Michael, what do you think that a key piece, if you could deposit something to car guys and car gals that are trying to make sure that they are slaying the stigma right now of what that horrible nightmare of a thought of our industry is, right? Excellent job, Vroom. I see you. I see you, Vroom. But what would you think are the key pieces to make sure that you are definitely not living that sort of a lifestyle?
So I think, you know, car guys are already starting to do it, and you guys are pioneers of it. But, you know, one, putting a personal face to it, I think that's a big deal. You know, and the end result is what you guys are saying and you're preaching, and that is bring the value, right? And I preach this even with what I do. If I'm going to get in front of somebody, I need to make sure that, you know, when I'm using or I'm taking your time, I'm bringing something valuable to the table, right? And everything I use, guys, I don't know if you notice it now, but I started actually posting with hashtag bring the value. Bring the value. It's all about the value.
Love it.
I value people's time. You know what I mean? I know if somebody's in a conversation with me and I'm at the end of the day trying to sell you a product, whether it be, in my case, a service contract, and, you know, your guys' case, you're selling iron, whatever it is, you need to have the value of their time, right? And if they don't understand that and the customer sitting across from you doesn't feel that, you're never going to win in that equation. And so, you know, at the end of the day, people need to bring the value, you know, figure out what that is. And it's different every time, right? So it might be, again, like and it's funny because I last week I had a dentist appointment, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard this, you know, car guys are compared to dentists, you know, like
It's so hard.
I've heard I'd rather go to the dentist than I've heard that before.
I'm laughing because I literally just got the Novocaine. I can't feel half my face, and I'm getting a couple fillings, right? And I'm like, damn, this is how bad it is for a customer. That's what I'm kind of cracking up for. Like, they think that poorly of our industry sometimes, that, you know, they're scared to death to come to deal with us, or they're scared of the negotiation or whatever it is, you know, but that's where their mindset is. And so I just started laughing, and the dentist at the end of the day, he's a cool dude. He's swearing and telling jokes and doing all this stuff. And I'm like, I love you, man. You're cool. You know, like, you made me feel better. It was like a person. And that's what we're after, right? We bring that to a customer. Like, we want them to feel comfortable. We want them to feel like we understand what they're going through. We understand their situation, good credit, bad credit. It doesn't matter, right? We're going to treat you the same. And at the end of the day, you're valuable, and we value your time. And that's it. So bring it up.
And I'm here to help you with your problem, right? You're only sitting inside of that dentist chair because there's something that needs to be taken care of that his specialty is able to handle for you, right? And you are completely convinced to the point that he's sticking his hands in your mouth, right? that he can do what he's supposed to do, right? Well, it's the same. We get intimate with the customer in some deep parts that get laid out on the table before us, right? I mean, it happens, some deep things. I've seen some marriages get tested at many tables, okay? Many negotiation moments.
No doubt.
And so there's key things that you need professional, a professional bearing, a professional heartbeat, you know what I mean? And an actual, a solid motive to help solve the problem that the person in front of you has. And if we can make that translation go to our customers, we're going to be key. I think that you're definitely spreading that type of a culture where
it's the saying.
I'm excited to see more.
It's the old saying, you know, and it's building relationships over revenue, because revenue will come if you build the relationships the right way. Right? Sorry, but you know, it's so true though. And I know I came in this business. I've been, we're 2 decades in, and I've had a lot of fun. I've done it the right way. I've done it the wrong way. I've done it a lot of different ways, but I learned a lot. And even when I did it wrong, I learned why it was wrong, became better at it, adjusted, and became, I feel like a pretty good close. I consider myself like a Yoda, or Yoda, I can't help it, man. And I feel very strong with the Force. And so it's a lot of fun, but it's not really the Force. Like a lot of people call it manipulation. You can sort of say that, but it's not really manipulation. It's just understanding what they really want when they say what they're really saying, because a lot of times they'll say something, but you have to translate it. You're like, whoa, hold on. I get it. Right.
Yep.
But then because you can do that and you kind of see the matrix going up and down, you're kind of like, all right, hold on a second. I get this. Let me, and then you tell them a story, you tell them why it's great. And then it's right back to where you need it to be. And it's not manipulation. It's just understanding, because they don't trust you. They don't trust you. That's why you have to build the relationship over revenue first. Revenue will come. The more you do it right, the more people you put in front of you, the more times that you say the right things and you do the right things and you're honest to people and you do it with a smile, with complete motive of nothing but I want to help you get to the next level of your life where you came to me for that help. If you do that every single time, I promise you, and everybody out there, by the end of any time period you put out there, you'll have record numbers. And it will happen if you do it consistently. But you have to do it every day and do it with compassion and with nothing but smiles, as Lou would always say. That's the most important thing you can wear.
Over profits, relationship over revenue.
There you go.
Okay.
People over
making
profits.
Sure that you are consistently more about the person that's heart is beating before you, that you are making a physical transaction of their hard-earned dollars with.
Oh yeah.
If you can't approach a conversation like that and you don't have a heartbeat for this industry, then Car Guy Coffee may not be for you. Okay. If you're looking to take advantage of people and take their money, well, that's not what anybody wants. So I want to do unto others as I would have them do unto me. And
yes,
it is key that we are making sure to honor the people that we have the time of. What you're saying is so key, Michael, because time is the one thing that we're all spending and we're never going to get back. We never are going to be able to put it back into the bank. You know what I mean? And it's
you spend it, it's gone.
That we learn how to spend it properly with the right people, the right time, spending the right money. All of these things come together for sowing the right seeds. I appreciate your wisdom. Yeah. Thank you for sharing so much with us tonight.
Absolutely.
You are such a solutionary that we're inspired by, and we can't wait to see more of, right? Yeah, I know that we're a big pill to swallow of crazy, always out there excitement. And we don't want to stop. We can't stop, won't stop, because we're meeting other people like you that are doing great things. So keep doing great things.
This is great, man.
Keep being a solutionary, pioneering.
It's cool.
Path.
It's cool getting inspired by a lot of people. I love what you're doing out there, man. Obviously I'm an F&I subprime hero. That's what I do. It's what I've been doing it now for 7 years, and I feel like I love what I do. But I've always been a closer at heart, though. I'm always a desk guy. I like being up front. I like shaking hands and talking to people. I love being like a floor manager. So I love that kind of stuff. I could tell inside you, though, man. You got a tongue on you, man. I could tell that when people come up to you, those objections are not really objections. They're just, you're like complaints.
Part of the dance. It's all part of the dance, which we're leading.
My background is like yours, though. I basically was in the family dealership and did subprime for 13 years.
My dog, see, I could tell. I felt it when you're talking. I felt, I know it, man. And there's no doubt. I could hear it when you do your videos. You have experience. You definitely have everything you need. So keep that confidence up. Never worry about what other people are saying. Even if you feel like it's being silent, trust and believe one thing, Michael. Even if you feel like there's nobody listening, there's people listening. There's people watching. Because I know they are with us. I know they are with you. People are doing it, and people are they're watching you do what you do. Just keep doing it, man. And you're going to be surprised of all the places that are going to be reaching out saying, hey, I need your help. Just be consistent, my friend. And I love it, dude. I appreciate you coming.
You have something to give them, right? That's what's awesome.
He does.
You have something to give them.
You got a great product, man.
You know what I mean? It's really awesome. Because there is a lot of hype out there. So car guys, I want to make sure that you all understand 100% that Michael is Car Guy Coffee approved.
That's right.
Okay. He is a solutionary, brewing solutions out there for your dealership. So reach out to him. How can they get a hold of you? Michael, let them know real quick.
Best way, phone number. Are we allowed to do that over here?
Yeah, go.
Sure,
rock it.
If you want to.
Sure. Phone number is 520-631-0465. That's the best way direct. Anytime.
The last four again?
Oh, I'm sorry, 0465. And then website, elitefipartners.com.
His website looked good too, man. I checked it out. It looks really good.
There might be a link to you guys on there as well. Just saying.
Hey,
See how cool that is?
good idea.
He reached out to me, and I didn't even ask Luke's permission. I was just like, yeah, go ahead, do that, man. I appreciate that, dude. That's no doubt. If there's anybody
I
that
love your energy. I love the positive, man. I want to be a part of that. So
I would put a stamp on your deal on your website for you that says Car Guy Coffee approved. If you wanted it. That's how much.
We'll send it to you. You are Car Guy Coffee approved.
No doubt, man.
On your shirts, you can put it on whatever you want. Soon enough, there's going to be enough people that are understanding the level of honor that it really takes inside of a select group of people to really say that you really are a solutionary. We honor you, not just because we've seen a couple of things out there, but having a great conversation with you, but seeing the consistency that you have at heart. We understand that you are an authentic blend. And as much as we get kind of salesy and gimmicky in our whole brand and cool, fun stuff, right? But at truth, we're people, and we honor real people. And you know what I mean? We share any kind of brew with you, you know what I mean? And that's why we're in the think tank having some fun together. So let's keep brewing solutions. Car guys, car gals. We want to make sure that you do understand that this brew has been brought to you by the Think Ad Group. You can get information by going to thinkadgroup.com. Jump into the think tank. This week, we are launching an entirely new series.
Oh, God, we ain't even got into that yet.
We are so pumped up to do that. We've been out here for an hour brewing solutions with this incredible solutionary that's right there.
I'm so glad he came on tonight, man.
It's right there.
Thanks for taking a short notice and saying, heck yeah, come on.
Cool. But we are going to be talking to somebody from a royal group, a royal family. From Royalty Logistics, joining us will be Rachel Blatt. I wanted to say it because I put the wrong accent on it.
It's all right.
Blatt.
Hey.
Rachel. I don't know how to say it in a fancy. I don't know. Rachel.
No, that's not.
I can't
that's
do
not
it.
Cool.
Anyway, but she is an incredible character in this business that knows some ways to continue to brew solutions. She's inspired us. We're inspired by her energy.
She has her own show too, which is really cool.
Car Biz Leaders host, right?
Man, she's awesome. She had Lou on there. Like, man, great interview, by the way. That was a lot of fun to watch.
It was a fun one to go through. She has some great questions. She's had a lot of great people on the show, and I'm excited to see more of where it is that she's going. But she is doing some great things. But she is the creator of Royalty Logistics. You can get information if you want to look into her a little bit before the brew drops at royaltyships.com and find out what Rachel is doing, what kind of a solutionary she is. But she is fun. She threw a little I don't even want to say. She added a little little move.
She added a move to the Forgive Focus Fly. Yeah. So we'll leave it at that.
Cool fun dance. But we are launching an entirely new series, the Move Makers. There is something coming, folks. A lot of people making big moves, and we want to share those with you. So this next 5 weeks is going to be filled.
Oh man,
with some incredible people.
You guys, this lineup we have coming up is just. We've been so lucky and just having so much fun getting to know all these people, building our network, having friends, mentors, people we've helped mentor, which is cool. We've had a lot of opportunity over this, especially these last 3 series we've done. Mm-hmm. And these things just keep getting. I don't know how they keep getting better, but they do. They really do. That's
what you want, right?
And then
it just keeps.
They are, man. They just get better and better every week. And we just finished up a week with a good personal friend of ours, Beto Meza, and he's from your area, Tucson. He works for the Premier. Yeah, he works for the Premier Group out there. He works. I think they have Casa Grande. They have one up that way. They have one. They're getting ready to. They have one in El Paso now. They're getting ready to open up a couple in Phoenix, most likely in that area. But he's helped open up the store in El Paso, so he's done some stuff. That might be somebody you'd be great to be part of your network, man. Being that you guys, he's from Tucson, grew up in Tucson, by the way. So
very cool.
But yeah, so definitely something.
All last week, you'll hear what kind of a heart he is, because he is a person that is of great character and somebody that you can.
Dude, he's a fast tracking son of a gun, bro. Really less than a decade in the business, and he's doing some big things, and he does it right. And his growth is great because he really works on himself, and he really works on being a good leader. He understands has the man,
He's got the glow.
bro, big time. Like
He's
it's
got
all
the
over
glow.
him. This guy's got the glow on him. And once again, we've been fortunate to meet guys like this, and friends, and having people like Michael, Beto, El Patron, Jason Garris. I can keep name dropping.
There's I mean, we got a lot of friends that are solutionaries,
Yeah, dude.
and we love them, and we're so blessed to have them. And really, folks, it's what is making this brew better and better. Is the more people that get to jump in and join with us. And Michael, thank you so much for joining with us and being part of the
Thanks for coming to the cafe and having fun with us, man.
Welcome to the cafe.
Way to help make our blend a little bit better, my friend.
Oh man, loving it, folks. Hey, make sure that you always know, forgive, focus, fly, so that you can always grow. Keep growing.
Keep growing, my
Thank
friend.
you so much for everybody being with us. Check out the brew. We are doing ladies first on this next series.
Yes.
Rachel Blatt is
Rachel
starting us
Blatt.
off with some Cargal coffee. So make sure that you go ahead and you get you some. Check this out before we head out.
He had forced it over and was trying to fuck.
All right. So, folks, we appreciate it.
Car guys, car
What?
gals,
Yeah.
and all you solutionaries out there.
Yes.
We've been always trying to make sure that you get the inside and maybe get a little bit of a cheat code for your car game to upshift and uplift your way of doing business. But here's a little cheat code for carguycoffee.store.
Think 10. Put that in there when you're checking out. 10% off. Make sure you guys get some of that right there. Think 10.
This
1
brew
0.
has been brought by
Think
Ag
Ag Group. Yes, sir.
Get
man.
you some.
Make sure you guys
Michael,
get your brew.
Have a
Thank
great
you,
night.
man. You guys have a great one. Holla when you hollas.